Yerp, what's goody? It's your boy, the Top Slug, the Sofa King, Jay Haynes, and I'm back with another video, another late night special. Last video I put out was kind of trash. Not even gonna hold you, but tried, So I'm happy with that part. I'm here again. I just kind of watched something that I felt like I really wanted to just kind of speak on a little bit, and I also wanted to put out a much shorter video, so I try not to ramble and pre up too much. But I guess the topic or the thing that I wanted to talk about, if I make a video that's a reaction, which I might do, I'll probably do that sometime tomorrow night. So we'll see. I just watched a live stream. It's still going on actually, but I just watched a live stream on a network, the Lapeef Network. I really rock with them. I like their programming. I like the conversations that they have. But it was on that network. It was a show that they have. I won't get into names or anything like that because I don't have the aid of the visual and the video. So I'll just speak on it from a general standpoint. But if anybody watches this, I'm sure this will be something that goes viral, just because it was very, very ironic. And as somebody who is just like a objective observer, it was kind of sad. I'm not even gonna hold you. It was kind of sad from the standpoint. Basically, it was a few ladies, a few gentlemen on a panel having a conversation. Conversation was going very good. The show was very engaging. I actually got so caught up, I'm still in my work clothes, right? I got caught up watching it when I got home. And it was just good overall. A lot of different topics. If you are a fan of the network, you probably had the same kind of impression, right? It was really good. And then the conversation kind of veered left when one young lady, a very feminine, nice young lady, it seemed like, she just spoke on her kind of experience. And I'll give it that she probably used the wrong word. She said she was a people pleaser. And it seemed like the other ladies and one of the gentlemen that were on this panel kind of jumped on that really quick once she said that. And it was kind of like off-putting to watch because she gave context to what she actually meant. She said that she really just likes to, be a servant, and she likes to, make the people around her happy. And, if there's anything she can do to like be helpful or, show love, basically, she was willing to do it. And I understood clearly from the beginning, basically. I understood. I thought it was very, like, it made a lot of sense. I thought the people-pleasing word was kind of, if you have a certain connotation with that, then you could take it one way, but you don't have to, you really don't. But the other ladies on the panel, they just kind of jumped on that. And you could see, obviously, plain as day, clearly, that it wasn't so much about that, but maybe it was about the contrast between her and them. I don't know these women. I don't know them personally. I won't make any like character judgments or anything like that, but at least how they came off to observer, which was part of the conversation, it wasn't good. It was definitely like easy for everybody in the chat who was watching, I would imagine, to kind of get the vibe that the girl was trying to explain, where her being a people pleaser, or in her words, being a people pleaser, wasn't a bad thing, really. It was just her kind of doing what she needed to do to be what she thought was feminine and just, an overall good person, right? The other ladies had such an objection to that, which was clearly projection, right? Like they clearly were upset that maybe they don't get that same energy, or maybe there's some type of inner, thing going on, whatever. But you could tell it was, I don't know what to kind of describe that kind of angle as, but I don't want to say jealousy because that's kind of, It's kind of foul, you know what I mean? I don't know if their intentions were so negative, but you can tell it was a lot about perception, right? And with that being part of the conversation, it was just so ironic that they were basically proving the girl right as far as the difference between her and them, how it's received, how she takes people's kind of observations and opinions and helps her like shape the way she kind of presents herself, versus them with the attitude of the modern woman, quote unquote, right? That they just don't care. You know, it is what it is. I am who I am. I said what I said, which, you know, most people would say is not constructive at all to like the ultimate goal that we're talking about, which is relationships, building the black community, etc., etc. You know, and it was just kind of sad to see, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it was sad to see two beautiful, three beautiful, four beautiful young ladies, all on the screen together. A moment that could have been positive, a moment for growth, and that's ultimately what I think the goal of the network is. And it just went so left, right? It went so left, and it wasn't like crazy arguing or anything like that. It was that left where if you're really paying attention and you watching, you see how much of a quote unquote train wreck is going on, at least for the two young ladies that were going really hard against the one who wanted to be, you know, a people pleaser, right? And even one of the guys, who he was looking crazy up there because he's saying to a woman, you shouldn't want to please people, and you know, everybody's going to take it in their own direction based off of their own interpretation. But like I said, that's projection, right? Because you're thinking about yourself in that situation, and maybe something that happened with you where you were nice to somebody and it backfired, and they kept asking her question after question, even though she made herself clear, from almost the beginning, saying that, like, you know, this is what I mean by that. They kept asking her questions almost to kind of get her caught up and prove the fact that what she was doing was wrong, even though part of what she was saying was that she gets positive feedback and people seem to gravitate and like the energy that she gives off. And maybe because they don't have the ability or they don't want to do what they have to do to give that same energy, it was clear that they felt the need to maybe attack her when there wasn't any real reason to, and she made herself very clear, you know. And so that just kept going left, and it kept going left. But it was good because the young lady who said, you know, I'm trying to be like this, I'm trying to be like that, she kept her composure. She made her point. She stood her ground. The other ones were coming back. They were, like I said, they were proving her point the whole time. And I'm sure when they watch this back, like, I'm sure when they watch it back, they're going to look at it and say, like, yo, I kind of look kind of crazy. And I'm sure if there's somebody, you know, a bigger YouTuber, or every small YouTuber, even myself, right? I'm not going to make a reaction video, but, or I may, but I won't do it right now. I'm sure this clip and this kind of interaction will be used to prove the exact point that the manosphere is talking about, and that was being made in that conversation itself. And it just, these are two intelligent, beautiful, like I said, young women, you know, and I'm not trying to simp or gas them up, but they are, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give them their props. But clearly they don't have the right attitude. At least one of them had a super nasty attitude, and she actually seemed like she could be a cool chick, but not in this case. It wasn't a good look, and like it seemed like the whole point just kept going over her head, like it just kept going past her, right? And I don't know, it's almost like you can tell she was doing that on purpose and trying to hold her ground, and then doing all this stuff, which you can have all these different interpretations, but none of them are going to be positive, right? When she watches this back, when anybody watches this back, it won't be positive, because not only did she argue with the young lady and kind of prove her point, ironically, she then started to do the passive aggressive innuendo subtle jabs that people do, where they just keep saying slick stuff, and everybody else sees it, and they just kind of keep backpedaling and acting like, well, no, I was just saying this, I was just doing that. And it just kind of further proves the sign language, which was a big part of the conversation that they were having. And then a dude hopped on. Like I said, shout out to all these people. I know your names, so I don't want to act like y'all, you know what I mean, they're just dudes and chicks. But, you know, I just don't want to use anybody's name in my shit for no reason, right? But when I did when he did hop on, right? He hopped on for maybe like three. He got 3 bars off. He got like 3 bars off. Said something like, "Yo, let me hop in the mix," and I can tell they knew that the conversation was going so left, and they were kind of looking crazy. And I'm sure they kind of peeking at the comments and whatnot. That they were ready to cut him off because basically he was going to reinforce how everybody else felt, right? And so they cut him off, and the chick said something about he's hopping in like some Real Housewives and came at him, which it was a little jab. But then when she tried to like double down, she said that's not what masculine men do. And my man, he kept it 100, and I like how he tried to shut it down, but obviously they overtalked him and did all the typical stuff. But basically, he was like, "Hold up, like we got to end it right there because you violated, right? You violated, and you violating based off the fact that you already look kind of crazy, the way you acting and the way you talking, and the fact that you proving people's point, and then you're gonna do the exact same thing again with what you're doing, and then when I call it out, you play this card, or you start playing victim, and you start doing all these different things, which is more typical behavior, right? And so like it's just crazy to watch in real time people communicate in such a non-effective way, and how it can be so dangerous and make you look so bad when you stand on your square or something that doesn't make sense, to the point where you're doing the exact thing that somebody's talking about, right? And you got to be very mindful and aware, and observant about not only what you think but also the outside world, because I mean this is a pure example of like whether you care or not, right? You don't want to look stupid and crazy and do things you're gonna have to then take back, or even worse, have to double down, triple down on bad behavior because I don't want to look away. You know what I mean? And I think self-awareness is big. What I say and where I leave it, I'm at 11 minutes, 12 minutes. What I say is that like you got to be self-aware, right? Like this is a big part of Slug Nation. This is one thing that one of the young ladies had, who she looks considerably younger than the other young lady who did not have it. You know what I mean? She didn't have it at all, at least in this moment, I'll say, right? And we'll see. I think this will go viral. It'll be funny, and I want to see where the conversation goes from here, because it was definitely a really clear, pinpoint example of one of the big topics that goes on in this space, in the manosphere. Shout out to the Lapeef Network. Shout out to everybody that was on the panel. Shout out to the ladies that kept their composure, looked good. I'm sure everybody will let you know how you looked, how it came off. Hopefully the other ones can see the error in their ways. Hopefully you watch this video, like, subscribe. Jay Haynes back. I'm using the phone again because the last video, the mic, I gotta position it right because it was kind of trash, and I gotta speak up and speak into it. But another one, late night. This is what you get. If you watch it, I hope you enjoy it. If you see that video, let me know what you think when you see the conversation. I almost would bet some money this is gonna go viral. This is not that it's so crazy, but it's just a good example of what people are talking about, right? And it's this shit happened in real time. Like it literally happened, and you can just see the plane crashing, right? You just see the train wreck. So it was a great show, entertaining as hell. But those two, the two young ladies, one of them tried to fall back a little bit. You know what I mean? She was still in the mix, but the one young lady, I'm not gonna say her name. Y'all probably know her name, and you'll see the clip. Let me know what you think when you see it. I'm sure you probably agree with me because it's logical. It makes sense. I mean, everybody could see exactly, except those two. Everybody could see exactly. And one of them, I think she actually saw it. But, she had to ride for the sisterhood, her homegirl, whatever. Had her looking wild out there in the street, right? But my phone dying, top slug, about to hop in the shower. Have a good night. I might come back. Let me see what happens, man. I'm going to watch the rest of this live stream. See how it goes. Hopefully she gave up the bullshit by now. All right? We out.